There is a positive for us finishing early.
What's that?
We can jump into the other game.
I'm in. I was excited about it. How is that game actually going? Is it close?
I know that you're excited. I'm sure others are. So rather than going into another break here, let's jump in. It looks like they actually just got started here.
Oh, wow.
I think they had a couple of delays, so it's almost as if we're getting a fresh game. Really.
All right, this is awesome. I'm excited for this.
There we go.
I was actually really bummed out about not being able to cast it.
No, of course. And again, that's going to be our goal too. If we happen to finish our game early and the next one is still going on, we'll do our best to maybe jump into that one. Obviously, the player camps over they have set up just yet, but we got Complexity versus VDT here. So VDT, they're making their debut here at Dreamhack, and this is their first game. Complexity, on the other hand, they're 1-0, defeating ITS as we saw earlier. So here we are, jumping into this one. Again, only 2 minutes in, as you can see, so very early on. You look at the lineups. How about that? Support playing Empath.
Yeah, other interesting things to note is that Pee-wee is playing Scout, but playing him in that carry role, not in the Suicide role. Also, yeah, Zibby playing that Suicide Bubble, so replacing Fabelli there. Going to see, I point out some criticism to see how, not criticism I would say, but I was concerned, actually, meanwhile, getting that early pick off here, the Empath, the Scout, and the Tempest, sitting an early kill on the trial of the Suicide War Beast here.
Yeah.
Empath, man, as a support hero, able to provide so much lockdown, especially with a hero like War Beast that has no escape, has no stun. In terms of raw lockdown potential there with that wall, with the Essence Link, it's hard to beat what an Empath can do at level 2 or 3.
Yeah, I was watching that gank pretty much take place. Even with the wall, it didn't necessarily block him off completely, but it forced him to walk around it. It bought enough time for Tempest to get in there.
Consider the pathing to be a bit of a stun, and then he has a stun from his Essence Link too. And, well, there you go. Witchslayer versus Bubbles, a matchup that definitely favors the Witchslayer pretty heavily there. Moon, we've seen that Moon, traditionally a Suicide player. When it comes to the War Beast, Trialf has been playing it, and Moon has been playing the solo Witchslayer. Comparing the matchup here, Zibe is actually holding out pretty decently in CS here, only 2 behind the Witchslayer. And, well, Fabelli performed really incredibly throughout the Swedish Pride event.
Yeah.
And when VDT lost him, I was worried.
Oh, yeah.
I know Zibe is an incredible player, but they seemed like they had everything going for him. I'm going to be paying a lot of attention in this game to seeing how Zibe actually meshes with the rest of the lineup.
Big wall right there from Empath that leads Peter Pan down right into Moraxis' arms. He quakes up perfect, and down goes Master of Arms. You saw Beacon right there on Pan Pan. He comes in with a cannonball, but just simply too late. It did not matter. Big kill coming out for VDT, so 2-0 hero kill start for them in their favor.
Moving over to the Ancients, actually, this early support in the area, gonna get that stack going and then go camp the top rune. So excellent roaming coming out from the Empath Tempest combination, man. That's what I like to see, an active jungle. And Parasite on the other side hasn't set anything up yet.
Yeah, that's, if anything, of the two, you maybe would have think Parasite, but yeah, Riser just hasn't been able to find that opportunity just yet, at least for now. You see the Vulture right there, and his farm is solid. I mean, 270 gold per minute, but again, just hasn't been able to find the opportunity to get the kill set up just yet.
Yeah, the kills netting the Tempest the early ring of sorcery too, so it can help his farm in the jungle that much more. From his stack here.
Empath looking for Moon Meander up here, but Moon knows something's up. I don't know if he saw him or if he just simply knows that Empath is missing. But he's playing a little passive, however. Empath is the one that might need to be a little careful. Vagabond coming in, not going to matter in the end, it looks like. Oh, meanwhile, in the middle lane, Moraxis, the flurry's coming out, the auto attacks. Oh, it's just not enough. He'll barely survive. Will Zergo playing that Moraxis. Somehow staying alive there.
Yeah, Panda MOA, man. Speaking of that, the first time I think we saw that, I believe we were casting it. I'm not exactly sure, but it was AL running it. Cookies and Mookies running that dual lane mid. Just the minus armor stacking is so huge.
Yeah, it's in theory it's ridiculous, and in practice, as we've seen, it's pretty ridiculous when it comes down to it. So, yeah, it's definitely, and that right there, it nearly got the gun over Axis, but again, he's just tanking up the bottle charges, helping keep him alive in the end. So,
well, the early gank too, just giving a little bit of extra assistance, definitely playing a role there too.
War Beast, he's kind of hitting back. Scout was on top of him, maybe looking for Tempest to eventually come over. Could find an opportunity right here. He actually puts on an Electric Eye off to the side for both scouting purposes as well as setting up a silence if need be.
Well,
but
make sure there's no ward there as well to scout the Tempest. The Tempest knows he get in here, and Well, that's what the point of the electric eye was.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense, actually. Warbeast is like, oh crap, it might be some trouble. Disarm coming out right there. Tempest coming in. He has an ultimate. Not necessary, though. Pue playing the scout will pick up the kill in a drop door. Meanwhile, we do have Moraxis running into Parasite, it looks like, but Moraxis actually bottled up whatever it was, the Invis, actually, before he got there. So
yeah, Moraxis is actually a phenomenal hero against Parasite as well, given the Arcane Shield. Makes it pretty hard for Parasite to find a window to actually open up and initiate on.
Yeah. How about this? VDT, Vietnamese Dream Team. Again, off to a solid start, but still plenty of game to take ahead, of course, so not to get too ahead of ourselves, but 6.5 minutes in. Scout is leading the way here at the bottom lane with this Tempest. Going to apply a lot of pressure, looking for their first tower kill. Empath off to the side, hiding in the trees over here. Look where support is. He's in an odd position, to say the least. He is going to set up a flank, though. At least that is the goal, I'm sure. Warbeast. Oh, they're going to dive Master of Arms. The wall, beautiful wall coming out yet again. Peter Pan down will fall. We see Empath in the background. He's going to start running. Warbeast in ulti form, chasing him down, but not going to chase for long. Big wall once again. Bubbles, by the way, dying at the top lane in the meantime. Well, that was happening, but
yeah, Witch Slayer, you know exactly what happened from there. Parasite, actually Parasite played a role as well, but yeah, very easy for him to open up, has that morph ability. If he gets it off, not going to be able to do anything with that Bubbles. And Ultimate, was that actually used by Moon to seal the deal there? Yeah, it was. It was. So.
Yep, able to
use that Silver Bullet.
Get the kill with it. How's Pandemonium coming along? Well, just nicely as expected. 380 gold per minute right now for B-Kid. So he is off to a really solid start. The Ghost Marchers, the bottle early on. Does have a, which they're porting in right here. Again, no Silver Bullet as we were just talking about, but most certainly the Graveyard Stun, very powerful as well. To assist for kills at least. But more Axis is going to play safe enough. To the point where it looks like he'll be fine for now. Scout, however, is leading the way. 410 gold per minute. That is a scary hero to see there. If you are Complexity, of course. Expect very possibly a Rune Cleaver, by the way, going to be his first item, of course.
Yeah, a little bit of a difference when I see Trial play the Suicide Warbeast is instead of maxing out the Battle Cry, he actually only gets 2 points in and then maxes out the Hellhounds instead. So,
interesting.
Opting for a bit more of the utility of the stronger Wolves, and figures level 2 Battle Cry is enough to win the lanes and provides enough damage for his team. Wants the extra damage in the Invis Wolves from there.
Well, I mean, you see right here that with this build, it does open up the idea
Ancients.
of Ancients a lot more effective.
You can do the Ancients anyway, but it's definitely easier with the max level.
Oh, Pandemonium in the meantime in the middle, and he's trying to get away right here. The chase is on, the Matrix is up, and there's the explosion, and B-Kid will fall. Xibe playing the bubbles, has the haste rune activated, as you can see. Most certainly a big part of getting that kill right there in the first place on Pandemonium. So.
Yeah, necessary pick-off, man. Pandemonium's farm was beginning to go crazy, so 380 at the time, I believe, dropping down to 350 now and cutting him out some farm time, so could be some nice momentum going for him here. Pee-wee, I believe he has the monotube happening, and now with the Sustainer, Scout can choose to get pretty damn active with it, man. Roaming, of course you want to get that earlier Rune Cleaver, but still has a lot of roam potential now that he does have the Sustainer, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Warbeast, man, a lot of his effectiveness can be cut out too, especially in a 1v1 against the Scout. That Disarm, he can literally, all he is an auto attack, so Scout has 2-second windows whenever he wants to pretty much just go up there and harass the Warbeast at pretty much no threat.
Speaking of Scout, I mean, you look what Trout's doing right here. He's actually sending in the Hellhounds with the Invis that they have to maybe ninja some creep kills, but Scout even able to kill him off before he even got one, I believe. So Scout going to port, where is he porting? To the top lane, it looks like. Want to maybe set something up here.
That's what I like. I like seeing that active carry, man. Instead of just taking, like, oh, it's just a Warbeast bottom, I can free farm. Going to make something happen here. And we'll see if they can convert it. The fight is happening in the top river, though.
Well, there's the question. Moraxis going to be gone. There's that jump. Look at it again. Ampech is absolutely melting. But at what cost right here? Pandemonium's in trouble. Disarm's coming out. The Matrix explosion. The auto attacks the Axes. Oh, and it also hits Master of Arms right there. Peter Pan Dam is also in trouble. We do have Scout
Witch
running in with
Slayer's
that
waiting.
finish. Witch Slayer, though. The Silver Bullet to finish him off. Scout, the Hex. Yes, they will get the counter go to Scout. And now we have Trough coming back in with the ulti form. Oh, the Legion
And
Courier
the
also
Legion
killed.
Courier
That's
drop.
unfortunate right there. So good turnaround.
Oh,
at the
that's
end
a
by
disaster.
Complexity.
They got greedy because that last axe hit the, was it the Master of Arms? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit the Master of Arms. They're like, oh, you know, you saw Pee-wee, he backed out. He wanted to leave. Looked like Moraxis, or I'm not sure who called it, but someone got a bit confident there. made the call to go in, and all of a sudden Moon in the right place at the right time, taking Complexity right back into this game now.
Yeah, most certainly. Regen Rune going to be picked up by Witchslayer right there. By the way, he went the Steam Boots into the Grave Locket build here. Did Moon Meander, so plenty of utility there early on for him. So things calming down once again, and you still have Tempest, though. We've been mentioning Scout, Pandemonium, but how about VN Sensation playing this Tempest, however? 400 gold per minute for him, man.
You mentioned the early kill, let him a really early Ring of Sorcery, and he's since taken that. Pretty much grown to be, yeah, he's by and far the highest level in this game right now, experience per minute. Let's take a look at that graph. 480 compared to Parasite, actually, 430, so Rise are doing a phenomenal job leveling up there as well, getting really close to that Codex, and Bubbles has got to be careful here in the top lane. Witchslayer trying to edge him out here. Oh, no.
Oh! No, but it doesn't matter. He got the vision anyways with the Hex. Yeah, the Great Rest completely missed, but the Hex will do the job, and Bubbles does fall in the end. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, a wall off right there for support, but he did not wall off Warbeast, and the cannonball stuff for Pandemonium goes over the wall. The Essence Link doing some work right there, but it doesn't matter in the end for Ampath. Meanwhile, they will get the counter kill on the other support as Moraxis takes out Master of Arms right there. So it ends up being a 1-for-1, at least in the middle. Of course, remember, Bubbles did die previous to that. Scout in the meantime, just doing what he can at the bottom lane, taking advantage of open farm down here, keeping that GPM nice and high, 400 gold per minute for him.
Yeah, I mean, he roamed, ganked before, but after that, you know, failed follow-up there onto the Master Arms, he's like, screw it, gonna pick up my farm, gonna keep it up, going bottom lane, need that Rune Cleaver now, so tried to help, and he's actually, now that the lane's pushed all the way up, gonna try to create some movement here. If Complexity is aware, they should realize Scout disappeared from bottom lane. It might be trying to set something up, but nothing found, and gonna resume his farm in the jungle. I like that. I like that. Not wasting too much time. Poking for the opportunity, didn't present himself. Back to farm.
See, has enough gold for the one broadsword. Needs the two, so that Rune Cleaver going to be coming out. He will just buy the one broadsword now. Nothing hurts. Doesn't hurt to get a little bit of extra damage in the meantime, obviously. So good for him. Tempest, the Astrolabe Steam Boots on himself. So again, VN Sensation definitely doing work here.
Is up.
Yep. And he's level 10. I mean, he's 2-0-4 again. VN Sensation, the captain of this team, most certainly doing very well here for them. Pandemonium, where's Beaka going to go is a question that I have. I mean, he has 2130 gold saved up here. What would you like to see on this Pandemonium?
See, a Shrunken Head is nice, but they actually have a physical silence there with the Scout. So
yeah,
Nullstone as more of a farming. Actually, he just picked up the Blessed Orb right there. Nullstone's more of a farming item. Makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah.
Empath using that wall to help kill the Ancients. Some nice additional AoE actually team clearing it right here, helping Zergo pick up earlier portal keys, my guess. The bottom lane is a bit controlled right now, so just gonna do what they can. They did have a triple stack up.
Yep, enough triple stack Ancients. Moraxis and Bubbles sharing that for the most part. So Moraxis still not close to that portal key necessarily. But
no, but just trying to build him up towards it.
He's got that build up. Speaking of portal key Bubbles also, I'm sure Xibe, as we talked about earlier, replacing Fabelli going into this event. Looking to get his own portal key in the near future, but currently has about 1,000 gold saved up himself. Looking back at Scout, again, getting closer and closer to that Rune Cleaver. The Warbeast has his Abyssal Skull Steam Boots finished here. Another 700 gold saved up for him. He talked about the Blessed Orb pick up on Pandemonium, so that Nullstone is definitely going to be coming out for him. And Witchslayer at the top lane, again, speaking of portal key.
That's his right here, and right now has his ultimate up. He's got to be careful. Bubbles, he's going to get caught out here at the tower. It looks like Witchslayer going straight in.
Yep, there we go. They jump on a Bubbles. The Graveyard Parasite also even coming in. Witchslayer did not have enough mana actually for the Silver Bullet, so it's probably necessary.
Scout poured it on in, but not able to make anything of it, so yeah, probably feels like it's a little bit of a waste. He's very, very close to that Rune Cleaver here. He's going to take that Dragon Master and
beat it to the ground.
Yeah, so from there, this farm should amplify. Not that it's been hurting, sitting at 400 gold per minute still. Warbeast, the thing is, this gives them some alone time here at the bottom lane to really pressure the tower. They're going to be forced to rotate, and in the meanwhile, they can begin to push up mid as well. Witchslayer didn't even have to use a Silver Bullet for that gank, so now that he's level 2, the cooldown on it did go way down, so able to keep those pickoffs off that much more. Grave Locket Power Supply giving him enough mana to make that happen.
You see the level 11 mark, so trying to find that opening, but for now we'll just continue to farm with it. So kind of entered into a little bit of a farming phase here for these two teams. And speaking of that, the rune cleaver, there we go, hits the 1200 mark. There's the purchase, and the broadsword is going to be on the way now for Scout. So you look around the jungle, not able to stack that one right there, but it does have a couple of stacks at least. Really only the one stack for now, but
yeah.
Gonna keep that going.
Scout's a powerful ganker, man, but even more so Scout Empath. With that 6-second physical silence, with the lockdown that Dynamic provide, and the already incredible damage that Scout can put out, they can just literally pick off anyone together. Sort of double invis heroes coming out in there, right?
I was gonna say, just to clarify, I mean, I was 99% sure, but Empath obviously does go invisible as well. So
yeah, you don't get to have any read on that.
Would be kind of silly seeing just Empath flying through the air. Like, wait, this doesn't look right. So, guys, I think something's up. Oh, yeah.
The soul of Empath still visible, even in spite of
jetting around.
Yeah.
But yeah, Empath with that as one ability. I mean, another great thing about it, the fact that you can use items while you're also in them and whatnot. So it's a very, very powerful tool. So hey, right, definitely something to keep an eye out for with this Scout Empath combination. Coming to the bottom lane, Witchslayer is here. I don't know if Witchslayer's going to find that opening though. Getting close. Oop, Electric Eye going to be killed. Wasn't able to destroy it in time right there. But Moraxis, looking back at him, still trucking 1,100 gold, so trying his darnest to get there.
Obviously needs that portal key eventually, but hasn't really had the best of times. Hasn't died yet, just hasn't been able to pick up that much hard farm. Mid lane being controlled mostly by an overfarmed Panda. Scout, with that rune cleaver now, I'd like to see him get active, maybe even move into the enemy woods or something to try to pick someone off with that Empath and then take over a little bit of farm. There's sort of static right here. We saw Moraxis rotating to the bottom lane now that it's pushed up, and yeah, so I like that Scout moved and gave Moraxis the bottom lane. He does need that portal key so they can start making things happen.
Yeah.
Their team fight becomes that much stronger once it is picked up. Lets Tempest get his elemental voids off a lot easier when you have someone else to start the fight and make things happen. Then he comes in mid-fight with that Astrolabe and then the counter ulti.
And so, again, Recipient Sensation just continuing to do his thing in the jungle. Witchslayer Moonmeat has really been patient, man. He's been down here. He's continues to hide in the woods, and it might pay off in the end. They do find Empath. There's the silver bullet. The melee range silver bullet. It does get the call. Oh, nice axes, though, coming out from Moraxis, hitting Witchslayer. Warby's trying to get there to traction, though. He misses the quick stun. He doesn't have mana for ulti for him, however, and it will be enough for the kill in the end. So the missing the quakes are not the biggest deal in the end. Witchslayer did get away, of course, but they get the kill on Warbeast. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Scout is here. Do they have TPs coming in? It looks like Tempest pointed to the secondary tower, and it might be the end of that.
Okay. Well, Rev wards. Placed out in mid, so Scout's like, screw that, not going to chase it. At least tower wasn't pushed. They got the kill into Warbeast. In exchange for a kill on Scout, definitely worth it. And then the cooldown on Witchslayer's ultimate gives them a 50-second window here. Going to pick up some farm top while that's occurring, but at least they know where Witch is now. So Moraxis feels safe and just sitting back and farming. He is getting dangerously close to that portal key. Nullstone picked up by Pandemonium, and it is nice, but you look at a bubble silence. AoE doesn't really care about it. You look at the Quake stun, you look at the axes, you look at the physical silence coming from Scout. It's nice, but it's not a game breaker.
Yeah, it's definitely more if I needed this for, to use my abilities constantly for farming mechanism, if anything, to pick up.
Yeah, exactly.
More so than the actual nullifying effect of it. But
yeah, even that does have some applications. So.
Of course. There's always some. If anything, it gets the other team to think that, okay, well, we have to worry about disabling that first. So Scout stealing a couple of Ancients right there, not able to fully finish them off, though, as we do have Complexity getting in there just beforehand. So Pandemonium will gladly take those himself, as we just talked about finishing that Nullstone. Another 1,200 gold saved up on Scouts, and now again, the question is,
he
where
walked
will he
right
go?
by the Rev Ward, though.
Oh,
they
yeah,
know he's entering the woods. They have a full read on it, and Witchslayer, man, if they put it on Rev Ward, he can quickly punish a hero like Scout.
Don't have a Rev Ward on them. Parasite going to take over the Wild Hunter just before Scout can do anything about it. And he'll actually go off to the side there. So Scout instead just going to farm it. Not really finding that opening window. Portal key picked up on Moraxis, though. That's big, and he's level 11 on top of that, so. Has that level 2 Matrax, of course. Excellent. Bubbles, in the meantime, also trying his best to get there.
Excellent timing there.
Yep.
So in terms of interrupting they do have a cannonball, which if the Pandemonium's caught outside the ultimate, they also have the Parasite Space Hog. So a couple of ways to interrupt Tempest's Elemental Void. He has that portal key, so Shrunken Head, even in spite of that, still worthy pickup.
They're trying to pick up Parasite here, but just not able to really follow up after the Minotaur gets destroyed.
It was smart to back up. Miraxis had his PK, but they didn't have the entire read on the situation. Actually, it might have been safe to keep chasing with Miraxis as close as he was, but saying screw it, grouping up for a perfect Witch Slayer stun is the last thing they want.
Instead, they'll gladly take out the top tower here. I don't think Reflection is going to do anything in time. Not even close. So an easy tower kill, but Traps the door on Warbeast does counter push the bottom lane, however. So kind of a one-for-one tower exchange there. VDT, though, they may keep things going, or maybe not. They're still going to roam through the jungle. Running right past a warded site, though. Peter Pan Dam places that ward, and look at them just all run away. I mean, they know it's the onslaught is coming, so Complexity making it very clear that they do not want to fight there.
Yeah, Pee-wee has a port up. I'm curious to see whether they'll push on the mid lane or rotate farm bottom.
And you're here mid, not
would
going
like to see him
though.
actually go bot, yeah.
Coming in before this.
That's good, that's good. They forced the TP too. Pee-wee actually looks like he canceled it in the end.
Oh, did he? Yeah, I guess he did.
They were letting Miraxis farm it, so going to get the Ancients instead.
See support here on Empath using the Estus Lake to tank the Ancients. Filling up quite a bit. Some smart plays coming out right there, but Scott in the end getting most of the farm, if not all of it. And that 3,000 gold now saved up, so possibly could be working towards the Shrunken Head.
Shrunken Head, yep.
As that next pickup here. Now, you know, with that said, this is a team that, as terms of damage output, doesn't care too much about a Shrunken Head with your Pandemonium, with your Warbeast, but you do have to worry about your Parasite, your Witch Slayer, CC purposes.
Right, and initiating before you can proc it.
Yeah. So definitely the Shrunken Head makes sense here. Coming out for Scout, to say the least.
Yeah, it'll be a lot easier for him to use it, given that they have Miraxis initiate. It gives them that window like, okay, Miraxis initiates, now I can activate my Shrunken, instead of being like, oh, I'm standing in front. Can't really retaliate a Witch Slayer Blink Hex. It's pretty much instant, so Blink Morph, I should say. Miniaturization.
You see another
Never
level
call
of
it
Codex.
Miniaturization.
I know, yeah, just Hexes.
Yeah,
little
hex
easier.
Hex it. Morph it, morph it.
CC. Sheep, I mean.
Sheep
so
him,
many
yeah,
easier
exactly,
terms,
sheep him.
The Codex, I believe, is level 2 now on Riser, so he is choosing to level that up. As we did see earlier, I believe that was an escape from Mythos 2Y. Went all the way to level 5 with it on Parasite in their loss against State Green earlier. But here we are again, VDT. This is their first match here at Dreamhack Summer 2013. They get a debut against Complexity. A tough challenge indeed, but pretty even matchup, honestly.
Yeah,
back and forth.
Looking sharp. Meanwhile, Warbeast did pick up his Shrunken Head as well, and going against heroes like Miraxis and Bubbles. Bubbles especially, man, he really did need that Shrunken before they engaged in a fight, and from here on out, it could be a pretty devastating force.
Pandemonium just continuing to farm in the middle, and not going to be jumped. We'll fall back before that happens. As you talked about, Warbeast just continuing to farm the Ancient. So, yeah, both teams kind of playing that somewhat of a passive mentality here lately of really picking and choosing their fights.
Yeah, I feel like VDT, ever since that moment where they, well, I brought it up multiple times, ever since they chased the Master of Arms, they really brought their gameplay back in a step. They felt like they no longer had that edge and really couldn't apply the pressure. And well, with Shrunken Head, I would like to see them maybe make something happen a little bit more. They still have a Shrunken Head that they want to get out on Tempest maybe, but Peter Pandam has been doing a phenomenal job keeping up those wards, though. I feel like he always knows where Scout's at.
Yeah, I mean, you see a Scout once again right here. He's looking around, maybe trying to find the Parasite, but Parasite actually gonna find the electric eye that Scout had down, and wants to expose himself. So, but grouping up at the top side now is our Legion team. 3 portal keys, by the way. Bubbles was able to pick his up, so they got him, Moraxis, and Tempest, obviously, with those portal keys now. I just saw, what did I see over here on the Hellborn side? Thought I saw something purchased. Oh, well, there's a Shrunken Head finish on Pandemonium. That's a pretty big deal right there in itself. So I think it was another level of Codex even.
Wait, Pandemonium actually finished Shrunken, you said?
Yep. I saw the purchase of the pattern at least. I don't know if he got the pattern first. For the
Might be a case of that. that he's pushing up mid lane. I'm not sure.
400 gold
really
per
see it being
minute.
sent out. Yeah, I don't really see it being sent out right here. So
Yeah, maybe it was
not
just the
sold
pattern
yet.
then.
Well, that being said, VDT looks like they want to try to maybe set up a fight here. They do have that double portal key combination. Bound Eye here on Moon Meander though, sort of make sure his team has the read. Each team sort of on the opposing side right now, switching places a bit there.
Yeah.
Playing a little bit of a loop around. Taking the high ground.
Something else we kind of forgot to mention too, despite the name being a little deceiving, Vietnamese Dream Team, this is a team representing Sweden, winning the Swedish qualifiers, of course. So they kind of got that home field advantage to an extent, you could say.
Yeah, they were AFK milking cows during the Swedish Pride event,
Yeah.
guys.
They changed to VDT.
Belly couldn't make it. Zebe's filling in. Yep, they're VDT, honoring their roots.
Push in the middle right here. Pandemonium leading the way, but as you talk, I mean, VDT really playing this, trying to cautiously, you know, try to set up a flank as a team, but also notice the Hellhounds, Tralfwood are using those Hellhounds to really scout them out of any opportunities they're going for. So kind of almost using it like a Tundra Hawk.
Exactly, I was going to say the Tundra Hawk effect, man, is extremely annoying. Also, using it to block Ancients and pulls is also very annoying, too.
Yep, wouldn't be surprised if he's been doing that as well, but for now, back to farm while the two teams go. Scout is level 16 now, by the way. So he's really continued to just really stay up there. 460 gold per minute just about. Pandemonium, though, also continuing to do very well. And then there's even the War Beast. Not the best of starts for him this game, but it has stepped up quite big time himself. 270 gold per minute now. And I think I just saw the Souls Bulwark.
Yeah, you saw the Bulwark picked up, and it's on its way to Demonic, and I'll see it.
Oh! Zergo with the beautiful reaction on the portal key. The unfortunate thing was he completely missed his counter stun. He ends up going down still. Tempest holding, going to pull the Witchslayer, and Warbeast right there. Put the full up, just not enough. Warbeast, Witchslayer will survive. Scott has Empath on him, but it doesn't matter. There's the lock up in the face smash. Down goes Empath, and just like that, Complexity absolutely destroys VDT. A 5-to-1 exchange right there. Witchslayer did eventually fall, but that all started with him off the bat.
Yeah,
wow.
Unfortunately, as you said, the counter stun
Yep.
not quite hitting where it needed to hit, and all Complexity was in the right place at the right time. Witchslayer barely living in the end, and oh, of course he died. He died to the minions, right? I believe the end sensation killed him. Yeah. Yeah, at the end, but yeah, the lockdown into Scout sort of doesn't make anything happen. So, who actually initiated that fight?
It was, well, Witchslayer jumped Moraxis, but Moraxis actually portal keyed right before Witchslayer peeked. So it was more so they were kind of jumping on each other at the same second. So, and then Moraxis got caught in the more awkward spot because he was then in the river, and Moon Meander had Complexity.
He actually didn't even get his ultimate off, I think.
Moraxis? Yeah, I don't think he did actually.
If he did, that could have been an entirely different exchange.
No, certainly. Yeah. Well, yeah. While we actually are in the spot, so that's a good point. Let's actually take a look at that fight once again, or most of it at least, of what we got of it. So we see. Okay, so this was just right after the jump. You saw right there, Moraxis got taken out. So then Witchslayer is kind of in the background, caught in the kelp field.
Tempest ultimate was pretty rushed here.
Here comes Scout charging with the shrunken head. He gets one attack off. It nearly is enough to kill Witchslayer, but then, like I said, even with the shrunken head, heroes like Pandemonium don't care. That face smash goes through it. Physical damage, just way too much in the end. So, yep, Complexity able to pull through there in that fight, and a big pull through. I mean, 5-for-1 exchange right there.
Yeah, definitely has set the momentum in their favor. It was a pretty close game before. You're like, whoever wins next fight's gonna have such an advantage, but in the end, those Witchslayer jumps, man, paying off. So, gotta give credit to Moon in setting up those opportunities for his team.
Speaking of Witchslayer, using one of the illusions right here to maybe bait something out, but from the mini map, well, this one up here actually might get VDT to react like they don't want to. Oh, they jump right there. Realizing pretty quickly that it is just an illusion. However, VN Sensation does need to be careful because the real one is nearby. Moraxis also coming in. Witchslayer and Parasite, they are here, but not going to really go in. So don't want to risk it. In the end, not going to have any exchanging going on here between the two sides, at least just yet in that fight. So both will fall back and into the farm. Pandemonium, the shrugging it himself. 2,500 gold saved up. Warbeast, a very similar spot. I'd be surprised to see something like a demonic breastplate just finish for him now.
Definitely going to be straight demonic into the brutalizer.
Yeah. Why not puzzle box, man? Especially with the scout. Now that I think about it, actually.
I mean, they have Bound Eye, they have other sources, and it's just you're a lot less vulnerable. You're a lot harder to kill with the demonic breastplate. It's a lot more of a team synergy. You're a lot less gimmicky, I suppose. The puzzle box is nice, but in terms of scaling just as well into the late game and what you offer the team in terms of consistency, even after your puzzle box is down too, just make sure you're always able to be active. So.
And there is always the other factor of it does require a little more work. You do have to.
It does. It's not even. It's not even about. No, it is true. It is true, but.
Yeah. No, obviously what the build that he's doing is more than fine. And as you say, you know, you can get dust. You got Bound Eyes. There's definitely ways to see heroes like scouts that are roaming around. So not necessary by any means. Conqueror has yet to be attempted this game, but right as I say that, Complexity making their way into Conqueror. Pandemonium, by the way, just picked up a Axe of the Malphite, so he's going to look to really bulk up here.
Yeah, holy crap. Pandemonium's one of those heroes, too, man. Just going straight raw Nick Items, Nullstone, Shrunken Head, Axe of the Malphite, carry ridiculously hard. So
yeah, demonic especially.
It'll be pretty hard for them to punch through his thick hide right now with the Legion side. They really need those early fights to go in their favor. At this point, Pandemonium can just pretty much walk up in front, absorb the brunt of the damage, and just open up his team for an easy fight.
Warbeast is the one to pick up the token of life, by the way, but the Conquer kill is successful quite easily there for Complexity. And there's the demonic breastplate finish as well for Tralfendor, playing that Warbeast. Post haste picked up by Moomiander, so he's going to get rid of those steam boots here. Had those for the earlier on.
The other nice thing about the Metamorphosis and how it interacts with Demonic Breastplate and just attack speed in general, the steam boots, Demonic Breastplate, and as you level up is it lowers your base attack time. So when you go an item like Demonic, it makes you hit that much faster during your ultimate compared to attack speed on a hero with a normal base attack time. So it has an amplified effect.
Yeah. Very good point. Yeah. And you talked about the Brutalizer as well. It's going to amplifying an effect helps an item like a Brutalizer.
Yeah, he already does crazy damage. He already has built-in crit, so you don't need any critical hits. So
Bubbles going to actually get away. No, the silence lasted just a little too long. He had to take cover, but he couldn't get it off right there. So very close, but wasn't to be. So yeah, again, Tralf is definitely farming up for that next item perhaps. But in the meantime, Bubbles gets taken out by Parasite, and Riser is actually able to make the escape with the port out before he got
Tempest and Miraxis looking like they want to jump Pandemonium maybe, but I don't even know if they have enough damage between the two of them right now. They don't feel like they do, so.
Especially with the null stone effect on top of that. There's no way for them to get rid of that Glacial Blast, which it's a good source of stun right there, so. Scout it's going to be a lot in his hands, man. I mean, hell, you do get a...
It always goes back to the team, though, man. Scout can only do so much. In the end, he's an auto-attack bot. He has some nice utility spells. He has that silence. You can see a nice silence onto the Pandemonium, perhaps, and ways to set it up that way. But in the end, he's still a right-click auto-attack bot in terms of his physical damage. And, well, they've got the Bound Eye. They've got the Witch Slayer trying to initiate on him. If not, Pandemonium did a great job blocking down in the previous fight. So, a lot of obstacles just to get around.
I'm just saying, though, with the Rune Cleaver, you get a big Tempest ultimate, damage.
A lot of damage.
All of a sudden you get a Genocide, I'm just saying.
Hey, it's definitely a winnable game.
But you see right there, Complexity pushing that top tower. There's the Behemoths are finished on Pandemonium. Warbeast also supporting to continue to farm to the bottom lane, it looks like. Again, just all across the board, things definitely coming together very nicely here for Complexity, to say the least. You got a Talbot of Commando on Bubble, so VDT also doing what they can to definitely keep in it. The Blessed Orb on Scout, I am kind of curious. What do you think that's going to turn into?
Sheepstick.
Really? I think it's actually going to be Sheepstick.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah? I guess you don't have many options. Oh, well, you do got many options, technically, but...
You do, but we saw this. It could go Nullstone, I guess, and helping to try to prevent Pandemonium from locking him down, but or the Witch Slayer, but the Witch Slayer has Mana Burn to burn the Nullstone if that's the case. And the Sheepstick, we just saw him pick it up multiple times when he was playing Scout in the past. Helps him open up and find those angles in the first place. like it's an opening disable and just he's able to tear through him. He already has an incredible amount of damage. Sheepstick rounds out his stats quite a bit, and Invis plus Sheep, very powerful combination, especially combined with that Empath, and we haven't really seen that Empath Scout gank presence.
Yeah, no, we haven't. We just seen that one team fight that unfortunately they just got slaughtered in, so. But other than that, I haven't seen too much of it. We may see some of it right here, though. Look at Complexity pushing in. Remember, Warbeast does have that token alive. Initiation, not just yet. Scout, Empath is going to use the as one on him right now. So the duration has started, but Complexity falling back before too much happens, or did they? They're going to fake fall back somewhat. More so even just waiting for the next creep wave here before they go back in. There's still 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining on this token alive, so again, Complexity not by any means in a huge rush here. To break into the base. The top lane is being pushed somewhat in favor of the Legion team, but they still even have the secondary tower up. So
Scout has gold to make his purchase, but opting to save for the buyback here instead, figuring they're pretty much all in at this point. Not all in, but you know, if they were to lose, they would be completely wrecked. He's the only one with buyback that's actually a formidable opposition to their push. So.
See Trough just continuing to spam that battle cry. There's absolutely no reason not to. I mean, the 0 mana cost, the very low cooldown of it. Just keeping the attack damage up. Pandemonium hitting for 290 maximum damage right now with that buff applied to him. So there we go into the melee racks. The damage up, no full initiation just yet. Empath ultimate is down, remember, too. But there goes Marax still jumping to the background on a Parasite. Only catches him, though. In the meantime, Scott's going to be locked down by Pandemonium. It looks like the face smash on him. Scott completely locked down. The Elemental Void, but Parasite cancels it immediately. Scout is able to barely survive, completely running still. Empath is dead. Can he get to the well? Yes, he will be able to get to the well at least, but what is happening over here? Bubble's going to get picked off. Marax is going to fall, and Complexity is still full force. All 5 of them ready to go. Melee racks get destroyed. Mission accomplished so far in favor of the Hellborn team. Bubbles buys back, just trying to distract him a little bit. But again, the damage is most certainly done. And oh, Scout overstepped his boundaries a little bit. Top of the commander trying to save. Not going to happen, though. Says Riser. Comes in with that Codex Lich. Gets the kill. Scout does buy back. But again, doesn't matter in the end. Warbeast even still has a token alive. So he's not too concerned. There's the concede vote. And it looks like the game will go to Complexity in the end. So VDT did their darnest. Got a well-farmed Scout, man. But the jump
they did. Excellent pickoffs. I mean, they have to bring it up for a 4th time here, man. The overextension, we saw Pee-wee backing away. Pee-wee did not want to go for the Master of Arms initially. As soon as they did, Moon picked up those kills. It just, you know.